Hello and welcome tenors to the very first video practice log. So in this week we're going to be going over Thy Light Within a Shining, and we're going to go over some basic techniques for how to practice effectively. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and start with some simple arpeggios, and then we're going to do some long tones. We'll do some more arpeggios. We're going to warm up briefly. So let's go ahead and start just with good old faithful E. Nice open tones. A. Nice open mouth, big breath, standing squarely on your own 2 feet with a straight spine. O. Try and place every note with intention, making every step of the way sound as beautiful and open and in tune with the last note that you just sang. Let's do E. So for me, that's right around where I'm going to start shifting registers into my upper registers. So this is a great range for me to practice more arpeggios and some nice long tones. You have to feel out for your own voice where your transitional zones are, and spend the most time in those spots. It's the most where your voice is kind of uncomfortable, where you're about to shift, or in the higher registers if you're a tenor. It's going to be a great place to spend some of your time. So let's go ahead and do some long tones, and let's start right where we left off. Start on E. So nice open tones, really rounding it out. Trying to really open your jaw. I was a little tight that time. Let's do A. Let's jump up another step actually, because we're only going to do a few of these. Let's do right here on E. Big breath. Relax. do some more arpeggios and see if our voice is a little more open. Let's just start right around here. No, excuse me. Ooh, E. A. That's right around, you probably heard my voice shift registers, so that's the part if I was going to spend some more time warming up. And if you have the time to, I would pause this and go back and do those long tones again and just try and really open up that space. Make sure to drink lots of water, by the way, it really helps. Okay, so we're back. Yes, we're back. So, yeah, brilliant. So this is the music for Thy Light Within Us Shining, which is the piece we're going to be working on. And we're going to be singing this together. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the top. You can see there that word says legato at the top, just above the start of the music. And then there's that lovely little PP. Now that PP, remember, means pianissimo, which means very quiet. Two P's is kind of like whispering, okay? So legato, on the other hand, which is the word... See if I can fix that there. Let's move that. There we go. So, oh, well, now, darn it. Aha! Now we can see everything. So, 80 up here, that means that's the time signature, or it's part of the time signature. So it means how fast we go. So that means a quarter note is about 80, and that means 80 beats per second. So it's a little faster than 1 per second. Anyway, legato. Legato is an Italian word which means... it actually means to bow. And so if you think about if you were a stringed instrument and using your bow, instead of like plucking a guitar and it being very percussive, like bang, 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 legato is very smooth and flowing like water or like butter. So with that in mind, now we're going to take a look at our starting note. So tenors, we actually start... I'm just sorry, I should have figured out C, A, C, E. It's A minor. So, our starting note is thy. But, so we're starting on double P, so it's very quiet. Now, before we actually jump into here, I'm sorry, I'm going to back up a little bit. Let's just go through the words together. Thy light within us shining has shone where freedom lies, from earthly walls confining to soar in spirit skies. How oft like sheep we've strayed apart, now guided by thy ray. In inner freedom of the heart, our night has turned to day. It's beautiful lyrics. So sorry you couldn't see them when I flipped the page. I'll just go ahead and pop this out so I can turn the page and we can all see it together. But oh, now it's all twisted. Rats. But at any rate, beautiful words. Take a second and actually figure out what the heck we're saying. And now let's go ahead and start. So our part goes like this. That's our starting note, and we sing like this. Thy light within us shining has shone where freedom lies. So, let's take a look and let's break this down a little bit. So, thy light within us shining has shone where freedom lies. So that's all one thought, right? But as far as breathing is concerned, we're going to take a big breath before thy light. And if you can, I want you to get all the way to lies on one breath. However, if you can't do that, I want you to go ahead and take your pencil and put a little B right after shining. Thy light within us shining, B, which means breath, has shown where freedom lies. But let's see if we can do it in one breath, shall we? Thy. So when you sing high and quiet, you have to take a really big breath. So let's do that together. Thy light within us shining, has shown where freedom lies. So it's very doable actually in one breath. Just take a big breath and you'll probably make it all the way through. So now let's take a look at this slur. Thy light within us shining. There's a slur. There's two notes on with, and there's a slur over them. Now the slur means that they are kind of energetically together. They're tied together. It's also called a tie. You can think about that. They're tied together. So we don't want to sing, thy light within us shine, because that sounds funny, right? We want to make it legato, smooth, right? So let's sing it. Thy light within us shining, has shown where freedom lies. Same thing with has. Has is a slur, so we want to make them nice and connected. Great. So let's sing that together. Again, we want to make sure that we get this nice opening passage beautiful and nice and set clearly, because if you start a song strong, you'll finish it strong. So let's take that again. Thy light within us shining, has shown where freedom lies. So, just some fun things to take away from this. Musically, the music is going to reflect the energy of the piece very well. Swami Kriyananda did a wonderful job of that. So, for example, thy light within us shining has shown. Has is a moving upward phrase. Has shown. And it helps to bring the energy up. So you can really have fun with that and feel like your soul is soaring upwards. It has shown where freedom lies. And similarly, freedom lies. We go up on lies. So let the energy rise up when our note rises on lies. So let's sing that again together. Thy light within us shining, has shown where freedom lies. So we want to do a diphthong on lies. We don't want to say lies. So go ahead and make a note right here in your music. You can make a big line and then put the S at the end of the line, just to remind yourself to just put the S at the end. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. So we're going to sing that first phrase again, and we're going to move through onto the second page. Thy light within us shining, has shown where freedom lies. From earthly walls confining, to soar in spirit skies. So, some really fun things going on here, and let's take a look at them together. So first off, from earthly walls confining. It's a great line. And if you notice, again, the music mirrors the energy of the piece. From earthly walls confining. It goes down on confining. Confining energy is downward pulling. That's a great way to also remember that that part goes down. From earthly walls confining, to soar. And then again, to soar. We're soaring upwards. To soar in spirit skies. Now, we have a really tricky thing right here. Spirits, skies. So it ends with plural, spirits, and we go straight into skies. It starts with an S. Now, how are we going to convey that it's spirits, skies, without actually making a break? Because we don't want to do that because that sounds really silly. The answer is it all comes down to the energy with which you say it. So just understand, to soar in spirit skies, that it's your spirit's skies of higher consciousness, right? So now let's go ahead and sing all that from the top and think about the phrasing, the phraseology of it all. Here we go. Thy light within us shining has shone where freedom lies, from earthly walls confining to soar in spirit skies. Awesome, great. So I took a couple breaths there that I didn't need to. I want you to see, if you can, to go all the way from lies, one breath, from earthly walls confining to soar in spirit skies in one breath. If you can't do that, then let's go ahead and let's put a breath after confining. From earthly walls confining, breath, to soar in spirit skies. So now we get to mezzo forte. So I've been singing a little louder to make sure that the mic picks me up. But mezzo forte is going to be like a regular speaking voice. So it's well-rounded. It's not really loud and projecting, but it's full-bodied. So let's just take a look at the words again. How oft, like sheep, we've strayed apart, now guided by thy ray. So oft is an abbreviation of often, right? How often, like sheep, we've strayed apart. And so how often in the past, like sheep, we've strayed apart from that divine consciousness, that divine ray, now guided by thy ray. So it's different. So we're setting up how often in the past, like sheep, we've strayed apart, now guided by thy ray. So there's a dichotomy there, so we can play that, right? We can play with that. So let's go ahead and just take from how oft, like sheep. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah, that's right. How oft, like sheep, we've strayed apart, now guided by thy ray. So, on re, we crescendo even louder into forte, which is like robust. In inner freedom of the heart, our night has turned to day. So then we crescendo again into fortissimo, which is like very full-bodied and rich and powerful. But we have to sing pretty high, so don't stress your voice. Try and stay very relaxed. My voice is still having a little bit of a hard time from when I was sick last week. But relaxation is the most important part. Volume, not so much. Intensity of thought and of projection of your energy is the most important after whatever I said was important before. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take that from how oft, like sheep. So we're going to practice the builds. We're starting mezzo forte, like a speaking voice. We get to forte, which is like a strong voice, and fortissimo, which is like a very, very bold. So how oft, like sheep, we've strayed apart, now guided by thy ray, in inner freedom of the heart, our night has turned to day. Great. So, then those little bars that you see at the end of day, and then it goes back to thy, and we flip back to the beginning, and we jump all the way back down from fortissimo, very loud, back down to very soft, for thy light within us shining. So it's going to be a bit of a jump, and that's okay. So let's go ahead and take that, let's practice that transition. So we're going to go from how oft, like sheep, and we're going to crescendo all the way up to day, and then we're going to chop the volume as we flip back to the beginning. How oft, like sheep, we've strayed apart, now guided by thy ray, in inner freedom of the heart, our night has turned to day. Thy light How oft like sheep we've strayed apart, now guided by thy ray, in inner freedom of the heart, our night has turned to day. So sorry, my voice is giving me some trouble. Like I said, I'm still recovering from a pretty horrible flu. But it's a good example of actually that, it's better not to push your voice and just let it relax a little bit, because thankfully there'll be other people singing along with you. So this has been a really brief example of how to practice. So we went over the words, we went over the lyrics, we went over the different musical markings, and then we practiced it. So as far as what to look out for, as far as which notes are going to be hard, this is actually, I feel like this is a pretty straightforward piece musically, but I want you to keep an eye out for breath, because you're really going to need your breath. So make marks in your music. Big breath before thy. So, because remember, we're singing quiet and we're going to be singing high, so you're going to need all your breath. Thy light within us shining. Possible breath there if you need it. Has shown where freedom lies. Definitely a big breath there. From earthly walls confining. Possible breath if you need it. To soar in spirit skies. Big breath. How oft like sheep we've strayed apart. Breath if you need it, but really better not. Now guided by thy ray. Breath. An inner freedom of the heart. Our night has turned to day. Breath. If you really need it, you can take one after heart, but best not to if possible. So I would do that. Go ahead and practice the recording. Practice along with the choir. Y'all are going to be great. Okay. We made it through our first recorded rehearsal together. Great. How'd you do? Did you actually watch the whole video? I hope you did. It's not very long. And this should be very informative. I want you to, after you finish watching this video, go ahead and do what we always talk about and listen to the recording, sing along with it. Listen to the recording of the whole choir so you can really hear your part in conjunction with the rest of the music, because like we discovered in our rehearsal last week, your part is only one of 4. And so knowing how your part sounds is the first step. Knowing how your part sounds with all the others and the whole sound is the next step. So we got to make sure that we have a real understanding of that, because it helps keep us in our part actually. So go ahead and just listen to the piece, get familiar with it, learn to like it, and we will sing this on Sunday. Now, of course, this is also a wonderful song. We're killing 2 birds with 1 stone with this one, because we sing this song every Sunday. Every Sunday. We always sing Thy Light Within Us Shining. It's just normally you sing it from your chairs in the Festival of Light. Well, guess what? Now you can sing the tenor part from your chair. Yay! Okay, great. So, I hope this was helpful. We'll keep them coming.